those questions. Again, I'll put these questions in the chat so we get to know you. Probably got a little prompt saying, is it okay to live stream? Just press OK on that, and we'll get started shortly. All right. So, all right. So let's take a look at who is here. We got Natalie in the UK. I do family law. I'm testing prompts daily in my practice. Amazing. Ken is from Myrtle Beach. Amazing, Ken. I didn't know you were in Myrtle Beach. That's pretty cool. Steve is from Australia, down under, commercial and business law. Nice to see you all. Very good, Steve. Good to see you. Jason, one of our superstars who just recently become our members, has been hitting the ground running. Jason, super proud of you, and you're doing amazing. And we already know you're going to do amazing. The way that you've been implementing and moving things forward. Good to see you. Amazing. It looks like Melissa. Ken, it looks like Melissa Davis is close to you. That's pretty cool. Oasis also is from Australia. It's 9 a.m. in the morning. Amazing. Want to learn about AI and how to best implement it, and we can automate as many things as possible without impacting compliance. Totally. Mario here from Atlanta uses ChatGPT for video topics and scripts to use on social media. How you can use it for client communication. Great. Michael, disability it all. Amazing. Very good. All right. So before we get started, something I want to share with you, something that's we've been working on for so many years. It's been in my head for so many years, which has been, I've been kind of focused on virtual relationships ever since I started, because in my head, I feel like I could have the biggest impact when I could reach hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, now hundreds of thousands, and now millions of people across my law firms. It's always been scalable to be able to do things online, very easy, relatively easy. But now we're bringing it to full circle, and we're going to be having our first inaugural live event for lawyers. And we are going all out with our first one, because we really do understand that first impressions is everything for us. And obviously, I'm playing the long-term game. Actually, me and Ken Hardison had this conversation about playing the long-term game. There's some people here in this space that are playing the short-term game. There's some people that are playing the long-term game. I think me and Ken are those people that we're going to be doing this the next 30, 40 years, and we're not going anywhere, because we really do enjoy this. And thank God, I think both me and Ken are successful with our own law firms and things like that. So, we're just doing this to be able to give, share, enjoy it, have talk about things that we really enjoy talking about. So we are doing MLA Live. I'll put the details in the chat, and I'll be sharing the details of it right now for the next couple of minutes. So it is called MLA Live. I'll be sharing, because we really do enjoy this. Oh, and looks like we're live on YouTube. So let's go ahead and let me share with you. Again, I put the link in the chat. I'll drop it off again in the chat to make sure everybody has it. MLA Live 2023, Ignite Law Firm Growth with AI and transform your practice. So first of all, what are we doing? And what are we doing, and why are we doing it? So first of all, there's a lot of things that are shifting and changing. And one of the main reasons is the reason why you're here is, with AI and everything that's happening, we need to figure out how is this going to really disrupt our market for us. And we really want to stay ahead of it. And I feel like I've always been one of those people who's been able to jump on trends early and not overthink it, get aggressive on it, implement as fast as I could. And that always gave me the huge advantage that I've always had when it came to Facebook ads, when it came to Google ads, funnels, automations, everything possibly, virtual assistants, everything. I feel like I've done it early. This is one of the things. It's very obvious, blaring, very obvious, red flag going off. This is going to really disrupt a lot of things, and we really want to know what this is, how it's going to disrupt it, how we can take advantage of it, so that we don't get washed away from it. Just the same way that these, traditional practices really are having a really tough time right now, and they really are. When you see people struggling with making short videos when they don't know how to do it and things like that, same thing is going to happen with this innovation that really is going to take over. So the theme of it is a lot of forward-thinking kind of topics. And the other big part of this that we're really focusing on is the experience. We're very well aware of the other types of conferences. I've heard a lot. I've been to a couple of them myself. this is going to completely be different. This is going to be a completely interactive. Everybody engages, not just sitting there listening to people to speak. People are involved. There's a thing that we're going to be doing called lawyer hot takes, where everybody's going to contribute to answering very polarizing, always these types of questions that everybody always was curious to know the answer of. We're going to be doing debates about it. Super interactive, super engaging, and it's filled with a lot of going out, a lot of cool tours of Hollywood, of Beverly Hills. And also, I forgot to mention, it's literally at the nicest location you could possibly stay at, literally in the heart of Beverly Hills, on Rodeo Drive, at Beverly Wilshire. Me and my wife just went there yesterday to record videos. We were blown away from everything. Just literally a 5-star venue at a 5-star location, super, super premium. And the other cool part, obviously, getting to finally, for me to be able to meet each of you in person, be able to build really good relationships virtually, but let's finally get to hang out. Also be having Hamid there, who has been my mentor, my partner, and a lot of my growth. He'll be there. We'll also be having a really interesting speakers. We're having a bunch of our members who've been having success with our programs, talking about what has worked for them. Really like a reveal all. Also, I'll be bringing on 3 of my media buyers. These are my people behind the scenes that are running the show for me. Each of these people are kind of really lead my growth for me. I'll be interviewing them, very straight, transparent conversation about what's working for very specific practice types right now. They say it as it is. That'll be kind of game changing, and a lot more. The full agenda is here. It's basically on check-in is on Tuesday, August 15th, and we'll be having a welcome reception on Tuesday night. Then we'll be having 2 full days, Wednesday and Thursday. You could take a look at the full agenda yourself with different variety of different speakers, panels, discussions, workshops, different things, experiences. You take a look, and a lot more. If you want more information, again, it's all there. If not, we also have a pretty clean, clear Google Doc that you can print out, go over, see if the dates make sense. Hopefully, if the dates do make sense, do not miss out. Do not miss out. I really cannot stress this enough. If you can make the dates work, definitely make it happen. Make it happen. Again, print out the Google Doc that I just put in the chat. Talk it out with your spouse or whoever you have to make sure it lines up with your date. If it does, really no excuses. I want everybody to come. And hopefully Ken will be having you there. And a lot of cool other people that you've seen online will be there as well. Really good experience to be able to for us to be able to meet each other and have a good time. If any questions that come up, we do have a email. They can always email. That will be answering your questions. If not, pretty much a lot of details should be on that link that I shared with you. So please try to make it happen, and hopefully be able to see you. One other thing that I also forgot to mention is we do have a limited time pricing, early bird premium pricing right now. Literally, we have 1 week left for this. I'm not doing this to make money. I am losing money on this. I don't consider losing. I think of it as investing back into what I've been able to build this whole time for the past 3.5 years. So, the money, I'm not making any money from this. You're not even covering the cost. So we try to make it as literally as reduce price as much as possible. But if you do decide to come, definitely try to take advantage of the pricing, because the pricing will continuously go up as we get closer to the event. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to see you. And yeah, we look forward to it. So let's get to it. And again, if any questions comes up about the live event or whatever, please let us know in the chat. We have our team members here and everything here. All right, so let's get to it. So I just put in the chat, I just put a link for ChatGPT for Lawyers book. Go ahead and click on that. I'll give you guys a minute to be able to click on that. Bridget, you want to clarify the message? I believe you should be able to see my screen. That's the one important part. You guys see my screen, right? That's the important part. Just give me a yes. You guys see my screen? Okay, good. All right. So again, put the link in the chat for this. I'll drop it off again. This is where we'll be mostly. Got it, Bridget. Should be okay. All right, so let's go here. This is the ChatGPT for Lawyers book. I've shared it before. However, I never finished anything because everything is always being optimized at all times. Well, I've added a lot more to it, and we'll be focusing on very certain parts of it today, but again, has never been shared and never shared anywhere else, and nobody has done this, but I'm about to share with you. But there's this order to what I'm about to share with you, okay? So bear with me, and it will lead to good things and very practical things for you. But actually, I just realized that we haven't done our cheers yet. So let's do that first. So I'll get on camera, grab your drink if you have a drink. Cheers, cheers. I see you, Stacy. Ken is already sipping. Amanda, Dennis, Mario, Joseph with the water. Very good. Yodo, Steven, very nice. Ramon, see you. Cheers, guys. Cheers. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so we'll be focused on this for the first half or so, and then I have a lot of cool. I have about 2 or 3 other cool AI tools that nobody talks about that I've been actually using. One is AI generated images that nobody does, but I've been using it in my marketing, which has been doing pretty good. Actually, no, not pretty good. It's been our top converting ad because nobody does it. And then our second thing is a personal AI, an AI that you install on your computer that is following you on your computer, and it goes literally joins your Zoom meetings. It knows your Google Calendar. It knows what websites you're on. I know it sounds really freaky and it knows everything about you, but it basically knows everything that you're doing on your computer. The benefits of it, again, I'll get to it when we get there, is that you never lose anything. That's one. Second is you could ask any questions. What did I do yesterday? Third thing is automatically summarizes all meetings, even meetings that you're not part of yourself. Fourth thing is you're able to get new insights from things that you've done. So let's just say you had a meeting yesterday, you can ask it questions and relate to different things. And it's really mind-blowing. Again, not many people know about it, and I'll share that with you, but we'll get there. But first, I want to start off with ChatGPT first. ChatGPT is just one application of AI, okay? And it's the most popular one because it's the easiest one. It's just, it's done through, it's text, right? Working with text. However, I found out that that your answers that you get from ChatGPT are only as good as your prompts. And a lot of people struggle with this. A lot of people complain, oh, it either gives me, incomplete answers or it gives me wrong answers, which happens all the time. But I found out over time something that I got better at, which is what I'm sharing with you on the screen here, is that the answer you get from ChatGPT is only as good as your prompt. And I really distilled it down to 2 things. In order to write effective prompts, and if you really understand this, you will get probably 3 or 4 times better at ChatGPT just by understanding these 2 concepts. Is number 1 is you need to provide context. Provide context to your prompts, which is, what is that? That's just providing information you already know, things that you already have, okay? So whenever you give something, give it more information. Copy and paste something from somewhere and say, hey, I already have these examples, or already have this thing, or already have whatever that is. Give it that. Whatever that is, the more the merrier. It doesn't have to be well written. It just has to be copy pasted words, whatever that is, in order for the AI to understand what you want out of it. Okay. Context. Put in the chat context, because I want everybody this to get stilled in your head. Context. I need to always provide context in my ChatGPT prompts. Go ahead and put that in the chat. I want to make sure this resonates with you. I know as I was teaching my program, there were certain things that I would put out there. Proof over promises. I don't know how many remember that. Proof over promises. This is one of those things. Context. Good, Jason, Armin. Good, Maria. All right, so that's the first one. Second thing is make it specific. You want to make this the prompt more specific to guide the AI towards the desired response. Vague prompts may lead to irrelevant or generic answers. So the more context and more specific your prompt is, the better response you will get. Okay. Just to give you an example, and I have a bunch of these examples that I'll share with you specifically for law firm owners. But let me just give you my example. We were trying to put together Mollaei Live. We were trying to hire an offer expert, a live event expert to come help us put this together. Instead, I'm like, wait a minute, we could just use ChatGPT. So instead, the prompt that we gave it is, you're a world-class marketing expert. This is context for a coaching program for lawyers. We have a community of lawyers who joined our program called My Legal Academy. We're planning on hosting a live event in person called Mollaei Live, where attendees will learn to leverage the tools, tactics, and technology of tomorrow. Mollaei Live will be hosted by me at Beverly Wilshire on these dates and crave a save the date invitation. As you can see, I didn't just say, go create me a save the date invitation for a live event for lawyers. That would have been a really weak, rudimentary prompt. Instead, I gave it context and I made it specific. I gave the actual details. The more, the merrier. The more, the merrier. But what does that have to do with you? Well, it all comes down to the prompt. But I found out, a lot of people struggle with this. But there's a thing called the prompt of all prompts, where it helps you create the prompt that you feed back into ChatGPT. Let's go through it, and I'm actually going to give you the actual prompt that you can actually use. But let me just give you the gist of it. So the prompt of all prompts says, I want you to become my prompt creator. Your goal is to help me craft the best possible prompt for my needs. The prompts will be used by you, ChatGPT, and you will follow the following process. Number one, your first response will be to ask me what the prompt should be about. I'll provide my answer, but we will need to improve it through continual iterations by going through the next steps. Number two, based on my inputs, you will generate 3 sections. The first part, I want you to revise what I gave you, make it better. It should be clear, concise, and easily understood by you. Second part is give me suggestions to make it better. Third is give me more questions to be able to make the prompt better, and continue doing this with me until we get a revised prompt. Okay, so let's go through this and I'll show you an example, and then I'll give you an actual one specifically for law firm owners, which if you scroll a little bit down, you'll to see it, but let's first do this together. So somebody give me a problem that they've been having with their law firm. Okay, think about, somebody share with me in the chat, take a minute. What is one problem that you've been having with your law firm? Okay, and let's try to make it specific. So Jim says drafting Facebook ads for personal injury law firm. Armin says emails. That's not clear enough. Armin, make it specific. No show appointments is a good one, but make it a little bit more specific. Hiring a new assistant. Jerry, what type of assistant for what? As Sarah says, drafting motions. As you can see, these things are missing specificity. So give me something that's a little bit more specific. More specific. And I'll show you why. There we go. Jason says, phone scripts for an intake in a PI firm for a Facebook lead. That is specific. So let's do it. So what we're going to do, again, this is all shared with you. We're going to copy and paste this prompt of all prompts. And what I did was actually, I took this prompt and I put it into my little text expander tool, ATEX. I called it prompt. Yeah, just literally copy and paste it here. So I don't have to sit there and copy and paste it every single time. All I do is just type out semicolon prompt. And I put that into ChatGPT. I do have access to ChatGPT 4 versus 3.5. Most people, the 3.5 is free. 4 is $20 a month. I didn't hesitate to get it, and I'm happy I didn't. And this is a call to action for you. Don't overthink it. For $20 a month, even if there's $300 a month, you will still get your value as long as you use it. So I would probably recommend that you do upgrade for $20 a month. It is significantly better. So what I did, I gave that prompt, which is again the prompt of all prompts. And now it's following the prompt. It says, sure, I'm ready to assist in creating an effective prompt. Let's start with step 1. What should the prompt be about? And we're going to use Jason's, which says phone script for an intake in a, let's just say, just in case he doesn't know, PI, in a personal injury law firm for a lead that comes from Facebook lead form. Okay. So I'm looking for a very specific phone script that we can use to be able to sign up personal injury clients coming from Facebook lead forms. Okay, so it already gave me the revised prompt. Okay, again, this is just helping me create the prompt. It's not giving me the answer yet. Because again, don't forget, better the prompt, the better the answer. So we want to first get the best prompt to give us the best answer. Okay, so it gave me that revised prompt, but I'm not happy with it yet. It gave me some suggestions, but I don't really look at it, but I could. But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer these questions. Okay, so the first question that it asks me, and Jason, Phil, and anyone else who wants to help me answer these is, what is the usual first line of communication with the potential client? Well, it's a phone. Okay, so that one is that. Number one is phone. Number two is, what critical information must be obtained during the first call? Justin, if you want to jump on audio, so you could just help me answer these, or I can answer it, but I'd rather be interactive. Feel free to join.
Got it. All right. So PI, so we want to know liability, how the accident happened.
How the accident happened.
We want to know when the accident happened as well for statute of limitations.
And what type of injuries occurred, and make sure they're not at fault. Good enough so far. Number three, is there a particular tone or approach that the law firm uses when talking to potential clients?
Empathetic.
Empathetic, perfect. Empathetic. Anything else? Or that should be good enough.
Yeah, that's good.
And are there any standards? And this unfortunately is blocking it, but let me just copy and paste. Little. Are there any standards? I don't know what I read it, but good enough. It's all good. We don't need it. So what we're going to do, give it an answer, give it more. Essentially, we're giving more context and more specific response. And now there we go, giving us a beefier, more specific prompt. I just literally went through today, did about 20 of these. And I found out if I do this 2 levels, it's probably good enough. It's probably 80, 90% of the way there. So we're going to answer it one more time. This is probably like a little bit less than 80%, but if we just do it one more time, we'll be sure. So let's, Jason, if you can help me answer these questions. Or is there any standard introductory or concluding language that the firm uses? It doesn't have to be correct. Just give me anything.
Yeah, I just so you want to avoid talking to the insurance company.
Good. Okay, let's just leave it as that. How does the firm usually transition from between different questions or topics in the conversation? If you don't know it, it doesn't really matter.
Natural language.
Okay, natural transitions. After sympathy, let's just say.
Yeah.
Number 3, are there any legal disclaimers or confidentiality statements that need to be made during the initial call?
Not really. If we're discussing liability, we'll talk about comparative versus contributory negligence.
Okay. And how's the call usually conducted?
Included, we send them the retainer. We want the case.
All right, we should have it. All right, and I could also potentially A/B test what would have originally got with our original prompt, which is this, versus what we're about to put in right now, which is this hefty, nice, juicy prompt. Okay, so here it is. Here's the revised prompt. Please create an empathetic phone script for the intake process of a personal injury law firm intended for potential clients from Facebook lead forms. The script should include inquiries about how and when the accident occurred, verifying that it took place within the last 2 years, the type of injury sustained, and assurance that the potential client was not at fault. It should advise potential clients to avoid talking to the insurance company. The script should include natural transitions after expressing sympathy, and the conversation should conclude with sending a retainer agreement to the potential client for signing. All right, so let's moment of truth. Let's see how good this will be. Okay, maybe, no, looks okay. So I have to start a new conversation. Maybe it doesn't want to do it in this conversation. So I'll start it as a new conversation and I'll put it here instead. And let's see what you got. What the hell is this? Oh no, am I being thinged for? Oh, okay. I've never seen that before. Oh, I'm guessing this is the OpenAI kind of verifying that I'm legit.
I think it started today.
Oh no. Okay, what is this? Use the arrows to. This is the last things you want somebody to do when they're tipsy. Use the arrows to change the number of objects until it matches the left image. Okay.
Get back. I think you had 2 Ys.
This one?
One more. Keep going. That's 4. That's 3.
Oh.
None. There you go. That's 2.
Those are weird.
That's a first. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jason from Plotkin Law Firm. I understand that you recently reached out to us through Facebook. This is a good time to talk to us about what happened. I'm really sorry to hear you've been involved in an accident. It must be a difficult time for you. Please remember, our team is here to help you, guide you through this process. We need to gather some information to best assist you. May I ask when this accident occurred? Thank you for providing that information. Since it happened within the last 2 years, we're able to assist with the case. Would you share some details about the inquiries you sustained as a result of the accident? Okay, so that's the type of injury. Next, we want to qualify on fault. It's important for us to establish the details of the incident. From your perspective, do you believe the other party was at fault? I don't know if you can notice the sympathy there from your perspective. Great. Now we also want to verify the insurance part. So thank you for sharing those details with me. Please bear in mind, it's crucial that you don't discuss this matter with the insurance company at this stage. Remember that, Jason? Remember we brought that up? Thanks to the good prompt. We want to ensure that your rights are fully protected, and sometimes conversations with the insurance company can unintentionally jeopardize that. Our team will handle those conversations on your behalf. Transition. I really appreciate your time in sharing this information with me. It helps us build a clear picture of what happened and how we can best assist you. And the call to action. But what we'll do next is to send you a retainer agreement. This is a document that formally outlines our working relationships. I love it. It's very soft and friendly. It's a client retainer agreement or whatever. It's a little soft. It's very soft. It details our responsibilities towards you. Ooh, strong. Your rights. Ooh, strong. And how our fees work. Great. You can review it at your own pace. Very sympathetic. And ask any questions if you have them. Once it's signed, we can formally begin our work in seeking justice for you. Amazing. Sympathy, more sympathy. I'll send the agreement to your email shortly. In the meantime, remember to focus on your recovery and leave the legal worries to us. Oh, this is so nice. I wish all of our intakers would say these words. If you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you again for choosing Plotkin Law Firm, and we look forward to helping you through this. Amazing, and talk to you soon. Perfect. Perfect. Now, what I'm going to do instead, so I compared this. Perfect. Honestly, very good. And again, we just did it very quickly. If you really go in there and really add even more details, you say all the parts, all the qualification questions you need to answer. You say sympathy plus, gentleness and whatever that is, whatever tone you want to put, it does wonders. So, but what I want to do, take our initial prompt, which is very weak, right? We just took whatever that Jason gave us, and we're going to put it in and see what it gives us. And probably not as good at all. Well, probably, let's see if it's usable. It's probably usable, but probably not that great. So initial greeting, confirming, no sympathy, get information, jumps into next steps, setting up an appointment with somebody. No, instead we want to get them signed up. No, closing the call. No, completely missed it. No sympathy, no qualification questions, not, a lot of things that we're missing. So this works. This works. And again, makes a huge difference. It really does make a huge difference because again, these are things when you use this, you're not just using it for something small. You could essentially use this instead of a marketing director, instead of a business director, instead of a business development director, whatever that is, to get these really high level kinds of things done. Okay, so here it is. This is kind of like God mode, cheat mode, whatever you want to call it. Feel free to, if you already ran out on this document, again, I'll put the link in the chat if you joined a little bit late. Go to page, and I want everything to always be actionable. Go to page 5. Go take this, save it somewhere. What I would do if you have a text expander, it would be a perfect place to create a prompt for it, to create a thing for it. Again, I called it a semicolon prompt. I have it saved. And in time, I need something very hardcore that I really needs to be detailed. then I use this. Okay. That is a lot of good stuff. But I took this and I'm like, I asked myself, and I also use ChatGPT to help me to figure out what are the top 20 prompts that law firm owners will get a lot of use out of. Okay. Let me just go through the categories and I'll show you a couple. And these are amazing. And these could really open up a lot of doors. And a lot of people I know struggle with finding the right people to help them grow. Essentially, this could be the missing puzzle that you were missing for some time. Okay. Number one, law firm growth strategies. Okay. If you've been struggling with growing, this is the doors, at least clarity to know what it takes for you to grow from small to medium-sized firm. And again, we'll get into more details. Let me just go through an overview. Number two, content marketing. Okay. Creating outlines, very good outlines for blog posts. Very detailed, specifically addressing the specific practice type, specific topic for your specific potential clients. Next, financial planning. A lot of people struggle with not having their financial P&Ls and things like that in place. Well, maybe I need to do a check of, am I doing the things that I need to be to make sure that I'm following financial best practices. Next one, a lot of people have a lot of questions about legal ethics. Well, you don't have to hire. I mean, obviously, again, it's not foolproof. It's not like a clear answer. It just at least gives us a little direction to start the research you start looking at. But it could be used as research to look into legal ethics considerations for your specific bar. You can, and I would probably say, and provide resources for everything you share. Okay, whatever. Okay, next, client retention. If you have trouble keeping your clients or not getting enough referrals, that's a really good one for you to use. And again, we'll try to use I'll show you a couple of these examples. Next, law firm marketing. Okay, 3 effective digital marketing techniques that I can actually start implementing today for my practice type in my state for these potential types of clients that I need to start implementing for the next 30 days. Next, legal tech implementation. Okay, ethically and legally compliant AI-based technologies that I can use for my specific practice type that would get these benefits that I'm seeking. Next, time management. If you struggle with time management, 3 practical tips I can start using today to address the specific problem that I have. Limited time in the day. I want to minimize phone distractions, or I'm not delegating enough. That's a big one for a lot of us. So that's there. Next, social media profile optimization. I don't know what to put on my LinkedIn profile. Bam. Specifically for a estate planning lawyer, exactly how should I attract my potential clients? This is going to give that to you. Next, cybersecurity measures. Different things. We talk about this. We're not just trying to make sure you make money. You also want to protect what you have. Well, this is a good one. Next, this is a really, really good one. I should probably bring this up. This is staff training. You're a world-class staff trainer for law firms. And again, sorry if I'm just going through this. Don't worry. I just want to give you an overview and I'll come back to it. You're a world-class staff trainer for law firms. Recommend beneficial training modules or topics or instructions as you see fit for this specific job title to improve this particular goal that I'm trying to get them to accomplish. Okay, literally gives the SOP essentially. Next, case management. How to improve my case management for this particular law firm to reduce inefficiencies and increase productivity. Next, recruiting. A lot of people struggle with this. If you've struggled, well, I don't know how to hire. I don't know what to do. I need this types of people. Well, this will give you clarity. I'm looking for this type of person to do this for us with this kind of user experience. It'll give you actual practical ways to actually go find that talent. Next, office environment optimization. Next, building a strong legal team. Next, sustainability in law firm branding, networking, and very importantly, probably one of the most important is work-life balance. But we want to make sure that this is practical and valuable that we actually get to do. So give me give me suggestions of which one that we should do right now. If it was me, I would probably do maybe the work-life balance, but let me know in the chat which one you would love to be able to see. And then we'll do the same thing that we just did, make this actionable, and let's see what it gives us. Stacy says time management. Does anybody else want to see time management? Yeah, give me. So maybe let me know either A, time management, B, recruiting, or C, case management. So either time management. Let me get it again. Okay. So either time management, recruiting, or case management. Give me A, B, or C, and then we'll see which one to do. And so we got, we see so far B's ahead, tied with A. Give me a couple more. Give me A's or B's. Which one do you want to see? B. Good. Give me a couple more. B. Okay, let's do B. A little bit more B's. Seems like just barely. Let's do recruiting. All right, so let's take this. Again, what I would do, by the way, is I would print this out. You don't have to print out the whole thing. Maybe I would print out up until, I don't know, page, either up until page 9 or so, or you could print the whole thing if you like. If you want to save paper, you could maybe print it up to page 9. And what I would do, I would probably circle the ones that you're struggling with. Maybe circle just 3 of them. You don't need all of these. It will overwhelm you. And take some time, and we'll talk about this later, how to actually make this tangible. Actually, no, I'll save that for later. So let's just do recruiting. So recruiting. There we go. And if I really wanted to get fancy, I would do the whole prompt thingy, but I've already done it for you, by the way. I've already done the prompt things. I was sitting there today doing what I just did for you 20 times over to get these. I already had pretty good prompts, but I optimized it based on what I just shared with you about 10 minutes ago. Okay, so who wants to do this? Steven, I would love to have you do this with me. Stephen A. Smith. You can jump on audio so we can fill this out together.
Okay.
All right. First of all, good to see you as always.
Always, of course.
Always, man. All right. So what we want to do, we're a world-class recruiter for law firms. And if you notice too, by the way, that's another secret, is I always try to tell it what it's really, really good at. Okay. It gives context. So basically, imagine like AI has all this knowledge base, but now as soon as you give it that, it starts focusing in that realm of expertise. Okay. So that's kind of like fine-tuning it. So explore modern recruitment strategies for law firms seeking to attract top candidates for, Stephen, for what type?
I'll do case management positions.
Case manager, with a focus on challenges, on addressing challenges related to, what do they have to do?
They have to
Manage personal injury cases.
right.
What do they have to do as part of managing personal injury cases?
As part of personal injury cases, they have to communicate with insurance companies, adjusters. They have to communicate with clients. They have to draft demand letters.
That's probably good enough.
Okay.
With any specific experience that they need to have?
They would have to work in a law firm environment for, at least, I'll say at least 2 years.
Let's say 3 years. By the way, something that's very clear. Nobody should be hiring people that have no experience.
Right.
You're gonna struggle. Hiring interns, you're gonna get burnt. Hire people with experience. It really, really matters. Okay, experience matters. So this is good. So let's go to it. Let's see what it gives us. Okay, giving me a full list, but I want to make this better. So that's what it gives us. So as a world-class recruiter for law firms, I understand the challenges that law firms face when seeking top candidates for case manager positions. Here are some modern recruitment strategies that can help address these challenges and attract qualified candidates with experience in managing personal injury cases, communicating with insurance companies and adjusters, communicating with clients, and drafting demand letters. However, give me a full list. I don't have time for these 8 things. So I'm going to say, give me your top 3 most effective strategies that I can delegate to my virtual assistant to start doing today, so I can hire a case manager within 7 days, right? Very specific. Is that a good one, Stephen?
It is.
Right. Narrowing down to 3 that I want to delegate out to because I don't want to do this. And I wanted this to be done within 7 days. So let's see what it gets. If it gets us better. Okay, let's see what it does. What it gave us. Number 1 is it gave us targeted job posts and outreach. Okay. And it gives some specific platforms where it does that. Number 2 is resume screening, initial interviews. And number 3 is candidate follow-up and reference check. This sounds good. Okay, I'm going to say turn this into an SOP that I can delegate to my virtual assistant to find candidates and qualify for me based on 5 qualification questions. And this is where I'm going to start giving a context.
Okay.
So I already have internal notes. Actually, one of the resources that we have is our little virtual assistants. And let me actually bring this up because I know it will be useful for just this moment to give it more context. So we have one of the things is this one, hiring employees SOP. This is shared with our members. Anybody who essentially needs to hire, what I do is, well, what I do myself is literally give this SOP to a VA and it has all the instructions for them to follow to the T, literally to the T with all the Loom videos with screening questions and clear instructions on how to get these qualification questions answered. And if they answer a certain way, go get them booked in my calendar or in our managers or directors calendars for them to interview. Okay. So we have some questions right now. So here it is. What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to copy paste these into ChatGPT. Again, I'm giving it more context. And maybe, you know what, maybe give it more context. Might as well give it more. If they pass the screening questions, invite them to a Zoom video link. Let's see. Let me give them that. If they pass the screening questions with good answers, again, if you could say what those good answers are, but just for the sake of example, I'm just thinking tell the SOP should tell the virtual assistants to book them on my calendar on Tuesdays and Thursdays between 1 and 5 p.m. Okay, we just turned this how to into an SOP. Job post and initial screening. So it says create a job post. You're going to evaluate the candidates. You're going to do follow-up and reference checks. Again, this is just giving you things. There's parts, obviously, that like I don't want reference checks. So we could take that out. And final candidate selection. Literally, this becomes an SOP, which again, for our members, already have this SOP, but get the idea. Just from that, we now have clear instructions that ideally, again, we don't want to do this. We just have a dedicated VA who just can follow these instructions for them to do. So Stephen, I'll put this in the chat. Hopefully it will fit. If not, I'll share with you. Yeah, it seems like the message is too long. I'll share this with you. Again, now turn this actual problem into a tangible, practical thing that we can do.
Awesome.
Awesome. This, you know what this time's for, right? Cheers. Thanks to that.
Want to see what people have on.
Yeah. Manda's mentioning, let's open it up. Let's do a little like 5-10 minutes, little hearing from you. So
Hey, Sam,
yeah, Bridget.
before you do that, just so you know, nobody can see each other.
Oh.
I don't know if that's a setting you have to click. I know you were doing a presentation before, so we didn't want to change anything, but
You can, nobody
they can only see you.
No. That's unfortunate. I have no idea. That's never happened, and it's not an option that I've seen. Maybe this is it.
Yep.
Yeah, that was it, right? I think it's a thing called focus mode.
Can everybody see each other now?
Yeah, Ken says yes. No.
Yes.
Yeah. Good.
Yes.
Okay, so it was a random new setting I guess Zoom has called focus mode. Like, it sounded cool when I enabled it, when I created it. Basically, it says when somebody joins, put them on focus mode. But I thought focus mode would just be on the computer, but I realized now that I'm realizing it wouldn't change their computer settings. It would probably change their Zoom settings. So that kind of makes sense.
That's because you're Mr. Focus, Sam.
Yeah, I guess when I see focus, I'm like, yeah, I want focus.
I just want to say Sam has been like away. He's been in this incredible AI world for months, right, Sam?
Yeah.
It's really exciting what you've been doing.
For sure. And the reason is, again, when in something like this, that really is life-changing. Again, jumping early really matters. Going hard, aggressive, more so than, the rest of the people. So I encourage, and it was something that we called out early, right? It came out late in November, I believe. In December, we're already talking about it and bringing it up and showing it and different things. So yeah, totally. Good. So let's actually, Bridget, you want to engage? Let's bring up some people that have been implementing some AI and ChatGPT in their law firm. Let's get some engagement of people. So please let us know if you have some experience, and I know there are. Please let us know so we could have you share your experience with us. Let me know. I know some. Oh, Brent. I know Brent is. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a little while. Can you hear me okay? Good. So yeah, good seeing you too. And this AI, what you've been doing with it is pretty amazing, actually. So I actually have been trying to warn people about AI and my posts about it, because there are some dangers, as some things that have happened. But it can be very useful. In fact, I used it to help me write a script to convert a lot of files that I had from a client that were not USPTO compliant for trademark specimens into trademark USPTO compliant specimens. I didn't want to do it myself. I didn't feel like I wanted to pay someone to do it. So I wrote a script, and it did it. So
How did it do?
What's that?
How did it do?
Well, the script initially, I probably gave it too general of a prompt. The script was wrong, but because I am also a programmer, I have a lot of experience in this, I was able to fix it. It gave me enough to start with. It kind of gave me a starting point, because I'd never used the language that this was written in before. So I was able to discern the syntax for the language from what ChatGPT gave me. I was able to install the appropriate development environment on my workstation based on the information I received. And within 3-4 hours, I had a script that converted 50 files into USPTO compliant trademark specimens.
Amazing. And something that did get brought up in our previous meetings was ChatGPT is limited by how many words you can give it. Something just came out this week that bypasses that. So let me share that. So this is perfect for anybody who has like contracts or like long form content. I would say contracts, long documents. Here's how to do it. Here's how to bypass that limit. Okay. So what we want to do, it's called OpenAI Playground. Okay. So let's go to OpenAI Playground. Here's the link. Put the link in the chat. And what we want to do on the right side, we want to change it to chat. Okay. And the module we want to change to GPT 3.5 Turbo 16K. 16K, I believe, stands for 16,000 characters. And this where we could drop off, copy and paste a very long form contract or document or whatever that is. If anybody has a specific contract they would like to review, let me know. If not, I have a random. Just when I pulled partnership agreement is not that long. Let's try to find something a little bit longer. Anybody has something, let me know. Let me see. I have a folder full of random. Maybe independent contract agreement. Let's take a look. How long is this? Decent, good enough. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna go and paste it here. Again, don't forget about the specific setting right here, chat and ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo 16K. And the message is review the following contract and let me know where there are holes that I might get screwed at if I'm hiring a marketing company with this contract. Let's see what it gives us. Okay. If it stops, I'm just going to say continue. Pretty good. All right, so it just pointed out. Obviously, it gives you the disclaimer. Make sure to have it attorney review it. And we definitely, obviously, it's not foolproof. By the way, these things aren't foolproof. It just gives you a good sense of where to head, where to look at, so you can do your own review. But first, number one is scope of work. The contract should provide a clear and detailed description of the services the marketing company will provide. Make sure it aligns with your expectations and has specific deliverables and timelines. Right, pretty obvious. Number two, payment terms. Number three, make sure you check off on the intellectual properties. Confirm the contract explicitly states that all intellectual property created by the marketing company during the course of the engagement is assigned or licensed to your company. This ensures that you have ownership or appropriate usage on the work delivered. So let's just say this one. I'm going to say, okay, I like this one, right? And I don't have this. So I'm going to say, write a clause for me for bullet point 3. There we go. I just said I was missing this. Give me the specific clause. Again, not completely to rely on. Again, some people freak out and like, what do you mean? Again, just something gives you some idea. Definitely review yourself. Make sure it checks out. Say, is this compliant in California? Whatever you want to do. Yeah. No. Yeah, it doesn't really give me an answer, but you guys get the idea. But the important part is we were just able to bypass the long form kind of part. Again, the way to get to it is it's OpenAI Playground. Again, I'll put the link in the chat again. What you want to do on the top right, change the mode to chat. And the module is 3.5 Turbo 16K. I'll put the link in the chat if you want to. Yeah, you guys got the idea. I was going to put the link in the chat, but it's okay. Yeah. And then what you do is you put copy and paste whatever content that you have here on the left side. And then on the top right is where you write your prompt. Now, nobody has any excuse for, long documents, things like that. The other thing that I'm super excited about myself that I've been really waiting for is a very specific ChatGPT 4 plugin called Data. What is it called? I forgot the name. It's called Code Interpreter. This is mind blowing. Let me just show this. Let me show a video on this because this is probably the thing that I really am most excited about. OpenAI Code Interpreter. Find the short one. Go with this.
available to everyone.
Mm. Let me make sure it's a good video. No, let me just do a better one. So, and make sure the audio is good, and make sure. Yeah,
OpenAI just introduced a new feature for ChatGPT called the Code Interpreter. And to be honest, this isn't just some ordinary update. No, it's going to shake things up big time. ChatGPT's Code Interpreter allows anyone to code interacting with the AI in plain English, which means no confusing jargon or complicated syntax. You talk to it like you'd talk to a friend, and it gets to work. And this is all part of OpenAI's goal to make artificial intelligence less scary and more user-friendly. The mainstay of this upgrade is that ChatGPT can now do more than just understanding and generating text. It has transcended into the realm of interacting with code and media files. Imagine this. You can upload an image, a spreadsheet, or even a video, have ChatGPT process it, and deliver the output in an easy-to-use format. It's really awesome, right? Let's dive deep into the details of how this amazing feature was created. OpenAI explains that they mainly used a method called reinforcement learning from human feedback, RHLP, to develop this groundbreaking ability. It's basically a machine learning training technique that uses human responses to help the model learn. This approach has already shown impressive results in previous versions of ChatGPT, and now they've taken it to the next level, making it rotate or fade. You can even combine different types of content by using commands like merge, split, or overlay. Let me share a couple of examples to showcase the power of this. So, one user uploaded a CSV file containing the locations of all lighthouses in the US and asked ChatGPT to create a visualization. And ChatGPT generated a GIF that displayed a map with the lighthouse locations. Another user uploaded a CSV file containing San Francisco crime data and asked ChatGPT to visualize the trends. And in a matter of seconds, the data was filtered, sorted, and presented graphically. So it's not just about making things easier. This big improvement brings a whole bunch of new opportunities, especially for people who might not be experts in this kind of stuff. We cannot discuss this upgrade without talking about its ability to understand and...
Yeah, let me just talk it out. So it allows you to import, Excel files, which is basically data. So imagine any data that you have, which for us, it could be our leads that we capture or our clients. Okay, any kind of data that you have, you import it right into ChatGPT and you could ask it questions. So this, I do this all the time. I'm always analyzing data, what's going on with all of our leads, what answers are they giving us in their, what words are they using in their answers when they become leads, because I use that in the marketing. When they become clients, they fill out an intake. That's really good language to be able to also use in our marketing, and also helps us figure out who they are so we could tailor the targeting or the marketing and the funnels and the websites based on those things. I had to go create pivot tables left and right to figure that out. And it would take me, I have to clean it up, create pivot tables. And even then it wasn't like clean. It wasn't really organized. Instead, literally within 2 minutes, I could go ask it, go create me a chart of the type of potential client, of the type of clients that we sign up. Tell me exactly in what states are they coming from, what problems that they're having, summarize that for me, create marketing material, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It just opens up so much from just pure data. Again, we're in this time where these tools are going to become easier and easier to use. And I think with the part we're at right now is to collect your data. Collect your data. Again, a good rule of thumb is every time you have a lead coming in, make sure it's all going to one central database, ideally like a CRM. Okay, we have the legal funnel CRM, ideally should go there. And then every time you have a client, make sure it's all being stored somewhere. All the answers, all the welcome, all the intake answers, it's all being stored. That is data that you can easily feed into these systems to figure out what is going on. And again, we deal with this, when I work with you to be able to grow. One of the first questions I ask is like, what do you do? Like, where are you getting your clients from? What type of clients do you get? And a lot of people don't have that data. They don't know what type of clients are you getting? How much? What's the average? Money cash collected from each potential clients. This is very it's required for you to be able to grow. So collect the data, and then hopefully when these things are released, as long as you have the know-hows, it should be very easy to be able to have actionable steps, things that you can do. It really feeds itself. The data feeds the marketing and everything else. So I think you guys get the idea with this, but I don't want this to go to waste. Again, put a lot of thought and time into this. What I want you to do is to print this out, and I want you to circle at least 3 of them. And I want you to schedule some time either over the weekend or next week to put some time into taking one of these prompts and having clear know-hows of what you need to do for your firm. Once you get this, again, it's either your own how-to instructions, or what I do is delegate this out. You know, and in any of these, you get the clear instructions. As long as you're clear in what you're trying to accomplish and you have a deadline, these all could be delegated out. So please use this to your advantage. And again, it hasn't really been shared anywhere else, and nobody has put it into this kind of this format. So please take full advantage of it. Also, let me just also share, you know, we brought this up early on in My Legal Academy, is we try to incubate ideas about how we can use AI in our practices. And basically, in order for us to figure out how we can apply this, the question that we brought up to in our community is, what are the biggest challenges that we have as law firm owners? The first one, which is I think the most important one, is signing up more law firm clients, right? Who doesn't have that? Who doesn't have that problem? Everybody does. Everybody wants more clients. So I'm like, hey, maybe if I could focus on figuring out how I can use AI to sign up clients for a law firm, that'll be game changing. So for the past, I believe it's been like 7 to 8 weeks now, almost 2 months, been hardcore every day working on a solution called Intake AI to be able to use AI to sign up clients. And the good news is we have been using for one of my law firms, we have been using it effectively. Literally, Dane, clients being signed up by AI. Really cool. There'll be updates to this. I don't want to reveal it yet, but there are some updates to this, and there's more to the story. And I'll be revealing all of those at MLA Live. There's really cool epiphanies and things that when I really had to brainstorm and think about how am I getting clients signed up without our potential clients needing to talk to intakers, I had to get really creative. And there were some things that I learned along the way to be able to do that. And I realized, I'm like, wait a minute, everybody could use this. It doesn't matter even if you don't use Intake AI, everybody needs these things. And those are things I'm going to be sharing at the conference. At least that's one of the main, one of the things I'll be sharing there. So that's the first application of AI that I'm super excited to kind of reveal. Second part is customer service AI for our law firms. Why do we have to continue answering the same questions over and over, right? We get emails, we get texts, we get calls from our potential clients, we get calls from our clients. What if we can create an AI that could answer our clients or our potential clients for us? Sounds reasonable enough, right? Well, good news. That is also possible and being able to do it. Right now, I'm in the trial stage being implemented. I'm gathering data. How many of these inquiries have been getting? Has it been answering it correctly? Has it not? That's literally in the works. And again, that is also being shared about literally revealing how we've been able to do that with all the epiphanies and the results at our MLA Live 2023. So that's that. The other one is a lot of people need it, is drafting different things. That I didn't focus on. One of our My Legal Academy members, Mike Smith, has been able to focus on that. He was able to solve that. He focused on, I believe, was for probate. It was probate, and he built a whole infrastructure of when a client gets signed up, the client signs up an intake, and from the client's intake answers, the entire filing, the petition for probate is drafted. And all it requires is just one final review by the attorney. And then it's literally processed right after that. He was able to put that together. I'll try to see if we can share those behind the scenes again at the conference. But that's something, again, any kind of drafting, anything could, once I saw this and I saw it behind the scenes, I realized like anything could be drafted. Anything. Doesn't matter how intricate it is. So much so that, Mike Smith's little AI tool was able to figure out, based on the answers, exactly which jurisdiction which statutes apply to which jurisdiction based on the specific answers the clients was giving, and it was able to draft very specific, filings specifically for those jurisdictions and statutes. So everything is possible with this. It's just about figuring it out and then putting it together. And again, we try to share all those resources with our members. Once we put it together and it's actually working, then we kind of share that. Again, I'm super excited to be able to share those epiphanies at MLA Live 2023. So two other things I'm going to share also. And I want to, again, go back to hearing more from you also, but I think this is pretty cool. Yeah. I'm actually, you know what, let's open it up before I share two more. Yeah, let me know if you guys have. If not, I'll be asking you, does anybody have any interesting ways that they've been using AI or ChatGPT in their practice? Don't worry, it doesn't have to be crazy fancy. It just has to be something practical that you've actually been using. And I'm sure it will probably be very useful for someone else to hear as well. I'll just be sipping until you guys give me an answer.
Is anybody curious about whether this could work for their applications? There must be questions.
Yeah, or questions or thoughts. No, or feel free to, Sarah, you want to join us on audio or on camera? There's Sarah. Let's see where you are. Let me try to
Hi,
find.
sorry.
There we go. I see you, Sarah.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
All right, so talk it out. So you shared.
Yeah, so I write letters and emails when I response, but I make them very professional. So, and I get really lazy, right? So now I'm just like, I just give it the prompts I need, like tell them to bring, I don't know, like just like nice seeing you in Miami. As to your, just write anything detailed, just kind of like shorthand, and it'll like pop up and it'll say, hi, I'm glad I hope you're doing well, and softens the mood. Even when I talk to opposing counsel and I just want to like go, I just put the in that, and it just like makes it like, just talks it out for me. Just very polite. Or when I want to ask a client for money, like, hey, pay up and, whatever, it'll say it in a very nice way, where it takes the tone out of like, because I'm very straightforward, and it just kind of like softens it all up and puts it in a totally different tone for me. And I don't have to, and it does it in 1 second. Like, so it's like no extra time for me. I just write it in, and then what I take it even a step further. So I've got this big shot client out in Venezuela, millions of dollars worth of clients. He has, and he's coming to me, and he was highly referred or whatever. And so I don't speak Spanish very well. So and my writing isn't great either. So what I do is every time I write to him, I'm very, I make sure that's very professionally written in English. Then I put it on OneDrive and I drop it in there and I go translate document. And it does like the best translations in Spanish, because I do read it. But my grammar isn't all that great. So then it's like a perfect document, and I send it off to him, and he thinks like I'm like this like this fantastic, phenomenal lawyer, just super bright, like Harvard educated or something, which I'm not. So, but it's great because my work product is so much better. It just elevated it to Harvard level, basically, Ivy League level, from like community college to Ivy League. So I love it. I use it all day long. I like, no email goes out, including when I write to judicial assistants and, people in the professional world. I'm doing it all the time, just so that, because even if when I'm trying to schedule, so I keep a very clean paper trail. So if the judge ever has to see what happened over there, like I come off as the more professional one, and hey, I didn't say anything wrong, typically, I would I'd want to say something wrong, but so it's really a great filter and buffer for me. I love it.
Amazing. So no more struggling with knowing what to write, essentially.
And I even use it for emotions. Like I'll create a motion and it's kind of like, maybe I just want to edit it for grammar and I just throw it in there and it just spits it back out. But you do have to be very careful because it'll change term of arts into just regular verbiage. Like, and you have to change it back to the term of art that you're looking for. So
Do you use ChatGPT 3.5?
no, I just use the regular version because I was using it, just to see if I was going to use it, and I never got serious about it. But if it makes a difference, I'll go ahead and do the, 0.5. I mean, what's the biggest difference in it? Because
If you use it that much, definitely do. It's just better. It's smarter, more accurate, essentially.
yeah, I love that playground and everything you showed. You really elevated, like the whole prompt thing. I didn't know about that. I was just using it for letters and motions and things like that mainly.
So
Like,
Sam, if Sarah added the term, was it term of art? Did you say, Sarah? So if you added that in the prompt, could you get?
Yeah. So I said something like, in my motion, it said newly. Oh, you want me to put it in the motion? Okay, I see what you're saying. The
Well, I'm
prompt.
saying the way Sam has crafted the way the prompts work and how to get the prompts to have the context and have
Yeah.
well to draw on, then maybe you could add that piece, that special language.
Because I'll tell it what it is. I'll say, edit this motion for whatever, and so it knows it's a motion versus I'll say, edit this letter for the judge. And then it'll make it into a letter form. And if I want to do an email, it even gives me like the subject line. So I do give it some, but even though it knew it was a motion, it still changed the term. Like it was like newly discovered evidence, right? That's what it was in my motion and it changed it to, I don't know, like newly discussed or something. I don't even know what it wrote. It was pathetic. So I changed it,
Well, it was really cool the way, I'm sorry to be speaking over you.
No,
Sam.
please.
I get my little bit in here because I loved how you had the compassionate or the empathetic voice in your prompts, Sam, around the PI questions. So,
and I wrote professionally on mine, rewrite professionally or as a lawyer. And so it does give it more context, and you're right.
So I'm super curious, could you get it to write a motion for a particular type of judge, like a cranky judge, an impatient judge, you guys know the words, all the words for the different kinds of thinking.
A humorous judge.
What?
A humorous judge. I got judges on the bench that like to laugh a lot. So
what do you think, Sam? Could you add that stuff? Would that start?
Genius. Yeah, totally.
No
You take every angle you can take as a good lawyer. So yeah, definitely. Two things I'm going to add to it too. One is, Sarah, whenever you want to create an expertise in your conversations. So start off with your world-class, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And give it context, what they're good at. Okay.
Right,
and then name it whatever the position title is. Let's just say whatever, professional, whatever, demand writer, let's just say. Okay. And you give it and you build up its expertise. You also know about this and you also know about this. And here's my last example of the last one that I filed. And here's another one that also got, petitioned successfully, et cetera, et cetera. You just keep feeding it, you name it. And then when you have that situation, that need again, you come back to that expert. Look at these as experts.
Oh, gotcha.
And for me, like anytime I put a little exclamation, it's like the ones that I'm likely to come back to it. So we have like different ones.
Excellent.
And I just come back to that expert. So think of these as experts. Don't think of it as conversations, experts.
I never even thought of prompting and doing what you're doing. That's amazing.
The other one is compose.ai, which brings AI into Chrome, essentially, which is basically if you use Gmail, it's going to be there, in different places. So are you on Gmail, Sarah?
Yes, I've switched over. I mean, I've been using it, but not like as my browser. Now I use Chrome as my browser.
Good. But what do you use for your email provider?
Yeah, Gmail.
Okay, perfect. Then install this. It will bring ChatGPT into your browser. into your literally Gmail composer.
Oh, okay. Oh, fantastic. Oh, great. Now I don't have to cut and paste all the time.
Correct. Yeah. This is like quick, you're writing something out, and then this one is, the experts is like, the serious stuff that you really is important. Yeah, both. And if you have the other thing I would say is, if you have external monitors, this should be one of the things that are always open.
Yeah.
The more, I always say it like the more, what's it called? The more, got the word. The more that's the quicker you're able to use it, essentially, the more you're likely to use it. So my bookmarks are everything for me. These are like very holy spaces for me. Every single one of these is stuff that I click on a daily basis. And then all the folders are all structured based on how often they'll use it. This is, I put together and I cleaned up my AI list, and I have a lot more when it comes to videos, audios, etc., etc. Maybe I'll share inside of our community, but make it accessible. Yeah, that was the word. Make it accessible, have it on, open at all times so you can be able to use it.
And those are the same files that you have down here that you just click on, or
There's more. There's video
is
stuff.
that, what is
audio
that, a
stuff.
tab, or what is that?
These are bookmarks.
Oh, bookmarks.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
These are essentially things that I use on a daily basis, and then these are kind of like on a weekly basis I use. But yeah, accessible is like the last thing. Amanda, you want to bring up the topic you brought up? It's a good question.
Yeah, I'm just curious what is going through all your minds, and just how many hours a week you might be able to claw back by getting this tool going in whatever form or fashion makes most sense for you. Because it seems like it does work across practice areas. Is that right, Sam? I mean,
Of course,
just
yeah.
deployable or, engageable. So is anybody else seeing, that this could really save a lot of time? Because I know that's always a big prize for all of you.
I have.
Becomes kind of like your brainchild assistant to help you come up with a house for you to ideally delegate out. That'll be a super prime way to kind of use this. Stacy, let's have you join, and then Ramon, I would love to hear your input. And I have some two more cool stuff that really nobody has talks about. I'll share with you after Stacy and Ramon. Stacy, let me know if you're here. Make sure you're here, Stacy. No, Stacy's not here. Ramon, you are here. You want to join us? Ramon, looks like, there we go. I see you.
Yeah, I'm here.
How's it going, Ramon?
Great. How are you?
Very good. Good to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
So tell us, you give us something in the chat. I could copy and paste it and put it on the screen. Let me do that while you're talking it out. So yeah, talk it out.
Well, yeah, I mean, I have, well, I've got a bunch of trials, and for each of these trials, I mean, I'm an immigration attorney, so I mean, I don't know how similar it is to all the other practice areas, but many hours go into preparing for each one, and I've got 10 between now and December, so 10 within the next 6 months, and actually a few of them coming up on the same day. Amanda, you and I spoke about this several times. And so right now, what I'm trying to do is find a way to ethically streamline the preparation process, so that I'm not cutting into as much as possible. Anyway, I know that I'm going to have to cut into my weekends, my nights, my personal time. I already understand that, but I want to at least be able to save my time as much as possible. And I don't know if there's a way that I can use ChatGPT or any of these other AI platforms. So I don't know, and we don't have to figure this out now. I just want to.
No, we have we have a lot of the answers, because since we're pretty big community, we've heard it all, we've seen it all.
I'm brand new to this too, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good question. It's great.
Yeah.
So something that we do in our program initially is we tap into you first. Okay, so kind of you laying out what you're trying to accomplish. You also sharing with us your things that are holding you back, we call them limiting beliefs. And then we get clear on what are you currently working on. And then once we know what we're clear, once we figure out what you're working on, and there's a very systematic way that we help you do to figure that out, then we help you figure out, can this be delegated, automated, or completely eliminated? Okay, you start with that. A lot of these things that you're doing right now should not be you at all doing this. Ideally, where you want to be in 12 months is you're just the reviewer. You're the last line of defense who just reviews to make sure that my team is doing all these things that need to be done correctly for me, so that I could file it or my team could file it for us. That's where you want, that's your goal. So I'm going to be sharing with you. So that's the first thing there, but I'm going to give you straight up, I'm going to give you 2 specific tools for you to look into. These are, and any tools that we have, it's not like based on, oh, this tool looks cool. No, it's actually people telling us, usually multiple people, like, no, I'm actually using this and this is great. So again, I'm usually the guinea pig. If not, we have our members who are a guinea pig. One of them is, if you don't already have a CRM, I have a very close friend who's an immigration lawyer who swears by this. Camp Legal. Check it out, specifically made for immigration. I'll put the link in the chat for any of my immigration lawyers. And I'll put this, there we go. I can put it twice. So that's one, check that out. It's always worth getting a demo. Okay, get a demo. I could already tell you again, somebody who's one of my close friends who's been able to scale his immigration law firm pretty successfully and pretty quickly uses this. So that is a good one if you already don't have a good, strong CRM. And the second one you should look into is this one. Actually, maybe is AI, this particular one. Actually, no, this is the particular one that my friend is about to scale his law firm. This is the one that he uses. So this particular one. So I would say get demos from both, see what uses it takes care of. But this could be the backend automation aspect of it, and what ideally what you want to do, and what our program kind of helps you with, with clarity, specific instructions, and how to get VAs or in-house people, if that's your style, to be able to take this off your hands using these tools. And we kind of, you want to lay out what needs to get done in written format. We create an SOP through words and through Loom videos. The next time that you have to do this, you record how you're doing it. You're just doing it and recording yourself as you're doing it. This is not when this happens, go do this. When this happens, go do this. You create that SOP. Now we bring on that VA. You give them the SOP, go do it. From that, they'll learn from the process. They're probably going to make some mistakes. Based on what you learn, you create a better SOP, or you update the SOP for the instructions to be very clear for somebody to get this off your hands. This is basically what you need for the next 12 months, is systematizing and delegating everything you're currently doing. You're not alone in this. Everybody has to go through this, and everybody does go through this, or everybody's in this process. I went through this process myself for many years. My mentor helped me go through this whole process, but basically that's what it takes. So check those out. And then, yeah, this is pretty much beginning of that journey.
Well, thank you.
No problem. Pleasure. And yeah, when did you pass the bar? Like, when did you become a lawyer?
Well, I passed the bar in 2010.
Okay. Yeah.
I've been practicing ever since. I've been an immigration attorney for, I don't know, maybe I was doing pretty much everything I can get my hands on until I started doing immigration law. I started that in 2015. I was doing nonprofit, moved over to the private side, worked for a couple law firms, and then decided I'm going to do my own thing in May 2021. And so I'm still learning, and I know that it's I could be doing everything so much better. And so here I am.
Good. What are you best at?
I feel like I'm a jack of all trades, master of none at this point. But
no, you're not. Nobody's a jack of all trades. It's
well, when it comes to immigration, I mean, yeah, I only handle immigration. I don't take anything else.
But in this realm, there's something that you're better at. Or you're better. I mean, to simplify, are you a better talker? Or you're a better writer? Or you're a better thinker?
I mean, I think I'm a pretty good writer.
Okay. There's something there. And I imagine the talking and the thinking is delegated out, or maybe no thinking. Just imagine that. That's where you want to be, and you focus on that. And whatever that you play to your strengths and delegate everything else out, or automate everything else out. That's where growth happens.
Yeah.
Short gist of it. Good. Jason, who's been sorry, Carmela, I just realized. Carmela, let me get you because you raised your hand, and then we'll have Jason Botkin join us. Carmela, how's it going?
Hi, I just have quick question, two quick question. You mentioned Compose AI can work with Gmail, but what if you have Outlook? Will it work with Outlook?
I do not know. It's something that I realized early that again might stir some things up, but Outlook might be a little outdated. I'd rather be on a platform that is robust and that has the most resources to be able to always update itself and be good. And I realized that early about Google. Google's ecosphere, whatever, the world of Google, they have a lot of money because of Google Ads. So their products are very strong because they, because they have a lot of money, they have good teams, they're good developers to be able to optimize things for productivity. So it's meant for high productivity and high integrations. Once you're on Google and you use all of Google's stuff, it's all integrated. Fast search, it's all connected to each other, all speaks to each other. So what we do, one of the modules is to kind of give clarity about this and say, hey, if you can somehow migrate to Google, I know it's the first time when people hear about it, they get uncomfortable, but a lot of people again, there's more reasons and things like that. Once a lot of people migrate, and when they migrate, a couple months later, they'll always say, thank you so much for helping me migrate because I've been unstuck this. So I'll share that with you. I know it's kind of sometimes hard to hear, but it pays to be on the better platform. One other thing I'll add to it is it's kind of painful to migrate in the beginning, but because we're building up our law firms for the next decades, we have that in mind. We're building something that's going to help us, have a easier, better law firm for the next 20, 30 years. So even if it's annoying for the first 2 or 3 months, which it will be, it's still well worth it in the big picture. So a lot of these tools and stuff that I share is, Google thing, and most people are on Google, but yeah, that's all I'll share with you.
And my second question was, you mentioned drafting documents. I'm a trust and estate planning attorney. I've been practicing over 24 years. And I always draft everything by myself. I'm the only one here. So how or where can I learn more about AI, using AI for drafting purposes? I mean, I know I can perhaps, get outsourced and all that, but I don't do it right now at this point. And I'm trying to automate more, be more efficient. But as far as AI is concerned, what would you suggest? What's there out there available?
There's a bunch out there. I'm trying to find it. And it's also, I believe, posted in our community. There are very specific tools for estate planning. And if we have our members who already know what those things are, or if you are a estate planning lawyer, there are some that's like skipping my mind. There are specific estate planning tools that really helps you automate the hell out of everything for the better. Again, it could also be even better than you. Just kind of sounds crazy, but there was one actually I did do Docsmith. There was a Docsmith. No, there was one I actually just did a demo with them like 2 weeks ago.
There's Wealth Council.
Wealth Council is a popular one. Yeah. Actually, no, I recorded a video, so let me go find that video.
Interactive Legal.
What is that?
Interactive Legal.
Interactive Legal. The one that I recorded a video with was Decision Vault. Decision Vault. So it seems like, let me actually share this about their website. And that's something I learned when I was doing this little demo with them. So it seems like there's 2 parts of this automation for estate planning. There's like the intaking part, which is just gathering the information from your clients. And the second part is automatically drafting those things. And this is going to be kind of like, this is a Carmela.
Okay.
This is essentially, okay, especially these. So think about that. You need some kind of intaking to gather the information, and then something to draft it, which he shared with me. Wealth Council and Interactive Legal, which was just mentioned right now, were the top 2. Okay. So get demos with them. get demos. They're all you could negotiate all of these, by the way. The price they give is never necessarily the price, so feel free to negotiate. Ask around. Our community shares those things about, you know, which one's better, things like that. But get demos from both, and definitely get on it. It will make your life much easier.
Thank you so much.
Sure. And imagine these will be interrupted by AI. Let me just put it out there. No, not that people want to hear about it, but transactional will get disrupted somehow, some shape or form. So again, ideally, we want to be using it. So at least if you use it, you're riding the wave with it, at the very least. So try to get on it as soon as you can. Yeah, that's the page that will give you clarity.
Okay. Thank you again.
No, of course, anytime. Brent says, I use Wealth Console and Elder Console, and also outsourcing drafting to legacy system membership. Perfect. And do the math for yourself. You know, I usually have about 10 clients. It usually takes me about 4 hours per client. My time is worth this much. If you take your, you know, total salary that you make in a year divided by 1440, right? I don't know. What was that number? How many hours you work in a year? No, 2080, 1440. Yeah, that was half of it. And then you figure out your hourly rate. So kind of calculate backwards. If you were to do it myself, this is how much it would cost. Well, these tools is 1/4 of that price. So I'm basically making, it's a 300% ROI on that. So it's a good move. You kind of like do the math on that. And Joseph said adapt. There we go. Look at that. This is the benefits of having a community. This is it. We never struggle with anything. It's like always like we share what's working, and things change so much. It's even for me, who's on the front end of this stuff, it's crazy. Within months, something better will come out, something even more optimized. And it's good to stay on top of it, so that again, we're on the more systematized and better one. Jason, you want to join us? I know you always have good insights. There we go. Speaking of which, you already give us good.
Yeah, I use 365, so I haven't started the Copilot trial yet, but they launched it, I think, in March. So it should be pretty good.
Yeah, Microsoft did jump the gun. They were ahead in the AI race as much as we're concerned. But over the long term, I think next 12 months, I know Google will be probably ahead. But what's going on, Jason?
Not much, man. Just soaking it all in. It's just running out of time for all the ideas. So.
You're implementers, so you're good.
Yeah, well, because I'm a delegator, so that helps me become an implementer.
Just give us like example of like the last thing that you like figured out and you were able to quickly delegate out. So people get ideas.
Delegate out is, well, I just hired an intaker, so I've delegated out my intake phone calls. So that helps out a lot. So I've been training them using the ChatGPT and all the MLA resources to really build the procedures for the intaker, and as well as the legal funnel. So I spent today actually using ChatGPT to relook at all my my workflows and rechecking my words, because the wording and stuff, and making sure it has my voice. And I've been actually training the intaker, so I've been going through it with them as well. So part of that process is seeing where the holes are, because first we were implementing, because something is better than nothing. You got to get it running to tune the machine. So I literally probably spent 6-7 hours today doing different things to fine tune it a little bit. And now my list, I've kind of created a whiteboard next to my desk of things that I want to do, and I think I just add like 5 more to tonight. So I'm on the East Coast, it's getting a little late, so I need to get sleep before tomorrow. But delegation is the key for all this stuff. You just got to figure it out so you know enough to manage the people that are going to do it.
And it's really like a mindset shift, right, Jason? Can you share with like what is that mindset shift that it takes? Like what's your mentality behind it?
Well, my mentality is just leveraging resources. So I think every couple of weeks I've been adding a VA since December. In fact, I just brought on another VA yesterday to be my marketing manager. This person is actually not that far. We actually came in person, so they're actually not that far away from my office. But they're going to be completely virtual. They came in and we went old school, had a meeting, and they're going to take over a lot of the marketing stuff, which frankly is a lot of this AI stuff is going to help me manage them. tomorrow morning, I have a meeting with my virtual CFO to go over the financial stuff because I offloaded that about a year and a half ago. And he just double checks everything, which allows me to have comfort levels of different people, because we're a PI firm. That's heavy transactional. Just the medical record, the bills, all that stuff that comes in, paying clients. There's a lot of transactions. Most accountants and bookkeepers, they love to come to us, and then they get scared away a year later. They realize it's the volume of transactions. But we use technology to link stuff in the credit cards to QuickBooks and all kind of stuff. So you just gotta jump in. You gotta jump. It's hard for us lawyers. We're scared of jumping. You gotta jump and find an ethics counsel so you can ask questions before you jump. I think I'm 1 for every 5 ideas. I get to go. It's good.
And Jim said you need to lead a member-led session, and I totally agree. It's a fun experience. Bridget, put Jason on the.
Oh, no, I'm a newbie. I'm not even a month old yet. I don't think. I'm still a newbie.
But we already know. We already know where it's heading.
We have
So.
several newbies here today.
Yeah. Mario, join us on camera. You just joined today. We'd love to be able to. Yeah.
Hey, good evening.
Let me
Good evening.
find you. Where are you? Where Mario? I'm trying to find you on. Raise your hand up, Mario. They're gonna see you. There we go. Hey, Mario.
Cool.
How's it going, Mario?
Doing good. How's everyone?
Very good. Very good. Are you drinking tonight or what?
Just some good old water.
Okay, fine. I'll let you off the hook this time. What's going on, Mario? As you joined, what's your biggest challenge right now?
My biggest challenge is implementing systems and client communication. Most of my clients, I'm an immigration attorney. Most of my clients, they use WhatsApp. And it's been kind of burdensome for my employees to respond to every message. Some messages go unread and they just slip through the cracks. And I'm trying to make that a little better.
Oh, man. You better come to MLA Live because I'm going to share with you how to get those questions answered by AI. But what you should do until then is to put together an FAQ, the most comprehensive FAQ. And let me actually, you know what? I'll share this extra value for everybody who's here. How to use ChatGPT to create an FAQ for your law firm. I'll share this with you. Start building this out. You need this anyways, even without AI, because ideally you want to delegate this. I usually delegate this out to a VA, but now we're going to delegate this out to an AI. But follow the instructions, and here it is. Let me just quickly go over it. Okay. So what we want to start off with is context, right? We want to start off with some FAQ questions that we usually get. So start compiling literally every question that you get from now on. I want you to write it, copy and paste it into a notepad on your iPhone. So just save the questions. Okay, more the merrier. And then put this prompt in. Okay, again, I didn't just come up with this. I use this, and Intake AI uses this part. You're a world-class expert in this immigration who does this and this and this type of immigration in all 50 states, and you're an expert in answering people's questions who are thinking about hiring an immigration lawyer to represent them for immigration law. I'll provide you with an example Q&A questions, and I want you to review them, revise them, and make them easy to answer for potential clients. Also, add your own questions and answers, starting with the most popular frequently asked question, along with the answer. It should be a maximum of, maybe if you want to make it really comprehensive, make it 30, or however many you like. Depends on, if it's something front facing, maybe like not too many to overwhelm them. But if it's, on the back end that you might use it for AI, you might have 30 or 40, and then give it the examples that you have from your notepad on your iPhone, and you're going to see some magic happen. And then this becomes the foundation of the knowledge base for AI to tap into, to be able to answer any potential clients' answers, or even your clients. And even what I'm thinking is creating 2 different AIs, one for potential clients, one for clients, because there might be different answers. Start building that out. And I promise you within 2 months, that will be completely delegated out.
Amazing. Sam, did you test this, first just on yourself? Like, did you see, because, with immigration clients, like they might be facing deportation, they might be in real peril. So can you talk a little bit about how we can trust this system to kind of take that human ear away and replace it with this? Is this safe
You-
for them?
Yeah, you tailor it. Okay, so there are answers, but you could also give it instructions. Is I want you to ask these qualification questions. And if they answer like this, I want you to go do this. So something, and I'm going to save some of it for MLA Live, but if they answer like this, go get them booked for a call.
Mhm.
If they answer like this, they don't qualify, and just send them to like the FAQ or something, or give them some specific instructions where we can't really necessarily help you. So everything is just, it all comes down to your specific instructions.
Right. I just wanted to kind of throw that in for people that are doing criminal law or injury, or, you know, when people are really in a bit of a crisis or freaked out when they call. Many attorneys I've talked to have been reluctant to get out of that role because it's so important to be there to answer those questions meaningfully or carefully. So just wanted you to.
We use the AI to qualify, and then based on how they answer or whatever answer, then we get them booked on a call. We funnel them. So
Right.
yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to do anything. So
Doesn't have to close clients like that. It just has to.
doesn't have to.
go
Doesn't have
in
to. No. No.
Filter them or qualify them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure. But the mindset is anything is possible, pretty much. It takes some time to optimize it. But at least the initial mindset is anything's possible. Let's then figure it out on the back end. But you're in the right place at the right time. I always say this, you know, a lot of people who join, you know, first of all, you know, it's an investment in yourself, but it's a good pivot. It's a good turning point in your life to take your life seriously and you know, really take it to the next level. So Mario, based on your challenges you're dealing with, you're a perfect place, perfect time. So take full advantage of it. You're not trying to learn anything. I always say this thing, you're not here to learn, you're trying to implement, have that mindset. It's better to implement one thing than to learn 10 things. Implement one thing, one thing at a time. And there's a lot that's shared. I know it's like Jason shared, you know, there's a lot that you could implement, but, you know, slow it down for yourself and say, this week, I'm only going to focus on this one thing. Once I accomplish this, then I'll go focus on this.
Thank you, Sam.
Of course, Mario, I'm excited to have you. Well, Dennis, how's it going, Dennis?
Hi.
How are you?
Good, good. It's going good.
Tell me what's going on. Give us some updates.
Well, I had a big breakthrough. I went to the, was it mindfulness or the session? And I kind of had a major block that I got myself through. So that was awesome. Been working through the AI stuff. And when you were talking about, or I don't know if it was in the chat or whatever, the medical chronologies, being able to summarize those, that would be huge. So labor intense, it's crazy. So do you have any reference to what's working for that?
It comes down to go back to the drawing board of creating your own prompt. Start off with there. I don't have any specific for that one, but if you just follow the same kind of, let me go back to it again, share the link, and then I'll open it up again. And then we'll do a little recap of today. And then let me just quickly open this up. Go to page, I believe it's page 5. This one. This is it. The cheat sheet to figuring out anything that you want.
Okay.
Start with this, copy this into it, answer the questions, and just answer the questions 2 or 3 times, and you'll have the perfect prompt that you go start a new conversation with and put that back in, and you'll get anything you need.
I see. Good.
So do that and let us know how it goes.
I will.
Very good. All right. So just to recap again, what I just shared with Dennis is the best way to use ChatGPT for different applications of it. If not, I shared with you very practical 20 specific prompts that you can use right now for your law firm. Again, there's different applications of it. I have a lot more to share with you. I'll just share one cool toy before we kind of wrap it up. It's called augment.co. This is the personal assistant AI that I mentioned. Go request and invite. Again, I'm not sure about the privacy things. It does get access to the stuff that you're doing. So, use it at your own discretion. But I kind of like the idea of getting to know me so that I could use it to my advantage. So yeah, it basically follows you along. And honestly, again, it sounds weird as I'm saying it. Follows you along, gets to know you. Then you could ask it questions of things that you've done or things that it already knows. So for me, I do a lot. There's a lot of data that I get exposed to, a lot of information, a lot of videos, a lot of meetings that I'm in. I need to put those pieces together sometimes. So this is kind of a cool idea, personal AI assistant. Again, so if you're here, highly, highly encourage you. Please join us in person. If you thought that was mind-blowing, again, the focus is always practical implementation of these things, engaging, having fun, hanging out in person, getting to spend some time together, and literally one of the coolest venues you could ever be at. And you could definitely turn this into a vacation. Really nice hotel. Bring whoever you like. Turn into a vacation for yourself. Check it out. Join us. If you do decide to join us, make sure to just take advantage of the discounted pricing this month. It will continually, gradually be increased. And you will not regret it. I promise you that. You will not regret it. We have a lot of stuff to share with you. We have a pretty robust team from where we started to where we are now. And I mean, let me actually bring our team now, because I always use this time to thank every single one of you who we have a pretty robust. I think we're Andrew, we're 25 deep.
Yeah, it's about 25.
Andre, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Yes. I hope not the first time, but although I see some new faces. Joined the company about a year ago and have been enjoying every minute of it. Sam is just driving change every day, literally every day. And he is always on the cutting edge. And I think that the value that we're discovering in these sessions, Mollaei Live type events, is that we come together so rarely these days, face to face, and the opportunity that we wanted to put forth to everybody, right? To over 500 members who've gone through Law for Mastery and all the programs that Sam has put together the last 3 years, was to bring everybody together in one room, to be able to connect, to be able to meet one another, to be able to shake hands, to be able to discuss really cutting edge, consequential subjects like AI, like machine learning, things that will affect all of us. I mean, we're talking about this right now, like it's novelty, how to come up with the prompt and how to, best position our request. But at the end of the day, this thing is going to take over, right? So we can talk to it like it's a partner, like it's a person we talk to on a daily basis. So these sorts of events help us come and discover new, better ways to improve our operations, to improve our service to our clients, and at the end of the day, just to let our hair down and know one another. And I think that this is the super important value that I've derived from Sam and the team of last year. It just constantly new change, constant new ideas, and we will not be able to improve unless we get together and unless we share, unless we speak up, unless we introduce what's on our end. Because every single one in this program is an expert in something. That's why we started Focus Track. That's why we started member-led sessions. We want to value and celebrate your victories, your successes, and your strengths. Even sometimes, I hear people say, well, I'm new, I just been here for a month. Well, you've been doing it for some time. So there is something that you can bring that somebody will say, oh, I haven't thought about this. And that's why I think that it's so important for us to come together. I think that we don't do it often enough. And the opportunity that we have in August is just a fantastic one. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys there.
And if you guys don't know, Andre is our COO, who's behind the scenes of everything that we do, involved with every department, knows everything that's going on. And Andre, I cannot say how grateful I am to have you, such a superstar on our team, literally best of the best kind of talent to be able to join our team. Andre saw my vision early with our company, and you've took multiple companies to, you scaled them up pretty big. And I'm super excited to be able to, for us to be able to take this, impact hundreds of lives, thousands of lives, tens of thousands of lives. And yeah, it just makes the journey a lot more fun when you do it with smart, sophisticated, well thought out, committed, loyal, and the people who really understand the big long-term kind of vision. So I appreciate you, Andrew.
Thank you, Sam.
Of course. Amanda,
Sam,
how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Such good things I'm hearing tonight. I'm super excited to get together physically because we haven't even met. I mean, I've met you, Sam, once, you and Sharona, but that's it. So to be able to get together with our team alone is going to be amazing. But there's a lot of synergy. There's a lot of really brilliant, forward-thinking, interesting lawyers coming into my Zoom room lately. And I'm just so excited as to where we're all going. It just feels like this nascent, your dream, your vision is, you're always way ahead of us, Sam. And so here we are with focus tracks and lawyers taking all their own initiative and getting together. And it's exactly what you saw coming. And Andre too. And so it's just a really exciting time to be here. I'm really glad for all of you. And I'm just blown away by this AI piece. I just know this is going to be very important. Sam's the first one to do all of this for lawyers as a lawyer, but this is a big deal. So I just want you all to know that. And kudos to you, Sam.
Amanda, it's something we brought up today was what's a common theme that gets brought up in conversation? Could you talk that out?
Sure. There's always a few things that come up often, like I don't want to reinvent the wheel. I know I could do this on my own, but I need someone to show me the way quickly. That's pretty straightforward. But the deeper one that I'm seeing a lot of now is just, I really want to change. I know I'm ready to do this. And nobody wants to go back to school. Nobody wants to spend a bunch of money to do a program. But when you see yourself in it and you realize that there's a chance that you can actually change that much that fast, I'm seeing kind of I suppose the problem would be, I don't know how to do that. Can I possibly imagine myself with a lifestyle like that? And then you say, yeah. And suddenly they start seeing, a big old yes and a big possibility that they could craft their lives better. And you lawyers, and serve better, but also serve yourselves and your families and, have time for you. So, and I'm trying to do the same thing. So I'm a total law nerd in case you haven't noticed, but I'm also, on the same path with all of you 100%. So it's a pretty nice place to be.
What Amanda's saying actually reminds me of another analogy, like trying to exercise and keep yourself in shape, right? So you can buy a couple of dumbbells and a yoga mat and try to do it at home. And truth is, not too many people will be doing this. But if you buy gym membership, that's going to be a compelling reason for you to go to the gym because now you've invested and now you feel obligated to do that. But so many people buy gym membership and never go there. But if you have a partner who comes and knocks on your door and says, hey, Joe, where's your duffel bag? Let's go, right? There is so much more possibility that you will go and you will be consistent and then you will improve your lifestyle. So same thing, this is the program that we want people to feed off one another's energy. And that's what I believe, Amanda, you're mentioning, right? I don't want to reinvent the wheel. That's the right choice. You come to the community that already has experienced things that you can easily take and implement.
Well, the Sam's tools list alone is just like,
that's right.
you're all set. If you realize what that actually is. So, but I loved what Denise said, going and joining in all the other programs and the little focus tracks and stuff. There's some really brilliant people here just to help each other, and lawyers that have done really well and now have time on their hands are coming back and showing other members what they did. It's just incredible. It's definitely it's way outside the box, but we like it that way, right, Sam?
Oh yeah. And there is also a symbiosis kind of effect, just being surrounded by, hearing about it, showing up to the calls. You pick up on little nuggets that you put together, and everybody also has their own secret sauce that they put into it.
Right, but
crucial.
imagine what that's gonna mean in real life, like together. Like how much bigger that synergy will be. And how much more we're gonna all learn from each other and be inspired by getting together physically.
I've had my biggest growth at conferences, at the conferences that really are meaningful. Like for me, I've been to the ClickFunnels conference 3 times, and every time I went, like there's just been a tick up in my growth right after. And the reason is just seeing what's possible is 80-90% of it.
Yeah.
The rest is just me putting in the effort to be able to implement what I already know. But just seeing it is believing it, believing it is doing it is getting results. So all starts from there. So please, hopefully be able to see you. Let's have some fun. Let's have some more drinks in person. It's been fun. Amanda, thank you so much for putting on so much effort every day. I know it's not easy to be in your shoes because I know you hear the limiting beliefs and the questions and all these things that we've probably heard 600 million times.
I'm endlessly interested, and it's really amazing to see lawyers, get their lives back or be able to scale up the way they want or hire new people and just work together. I noticed in the Facebook group or somewhere people are like, hey, let's do this thing together. And so that's really exciting to me. I think that will really mushroom if we can get together physically, that all the immigration lawyers and all the estate planners can like, hey, let's do this thing together, especially federal matters. I think there's so much potential for that. Trademarks and whatnot. Is Kamani still here? Kamani's
No.
we just have so much more we could all do together. So
yeah, and we're just scratching the surface for where we're heading. Amazing. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. It's been fun. Take it easy. We'll see you soon, hopefully on Zoom sometime. If not in person, what do you mean? Well, not Zoom. We'll see you in person. All right, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you.